please stand and give the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Sorry, Delmas. Got my mic halfway down the meeting already. Sorry.
The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And those who know your name will put their trust in you, for you, Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we acknowledge your majestic greatness, your loving kindness, and grace to mankind. We ask for your holy presence to be here in this meeting tonight. Please guide the board and the matters to be discussed. Let your peace rest here in this meeting and on our city. I ask that you would bless our leaders and those who work for our city for all the time and effort that goes into this work. We thank you, dear Jesus, so much for loving us. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Alrighty, are there any additions or alterations to the agenda? Mr. Walker?
Just one addition, under new business for, updated easements for 100th and 297.
That, which street? Okay. Anything else, sir?
No.
Mr. Rush?
Yeah, I got two, Mr. Mayor. I don't know where you want to put it since Marlene's here, but one to discuss the cemetery map here that you got in front of you.
Okay, as that is a part of engineering, let's do that under letter E in engineering.
Okay. And then the last one I have is letter J, discuss fire department meeting.
Discuss fire department meeting.
Yeah. That's all I got. Thank you.
Case, anything?
No.
Mr. Holm is not here. He's not here to ask that. We do have two public request forms that I will entertain as soon as that comes up. With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
For the month of May 2026, we have a beginning balance of $1,147,942.23. Receipts of $61,826.41. Of that receipt amount, that includes the CD interest from 2025, which was $43,225.98. The interest from the CD for 23 and 24 was already done when we, that interest was already put into the funds when we did our new chart of accounts. We have disbursements of $87,050.19, leaving an unaudited ending balance of $1,122,718.45.
Joan, any questions for the treasurer? Hearing none, we'll move to public comment requests. We have two. The first one is Mary Larson. Mary, if you would, step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please.
Mary Larson, 29725 138th Circle, Baldwin, Minnesota. I'm here tonight as someone who's both the volunteer event coordinator and also assisting with the newspaper. Today, we had the opportunity, myself, Kayla, and Joan, to meet with Steve Conkle, who writes the paper and owns it. And we had some questions. And in order for the newspaper to get to everybody, because of how strategically we're located, we have to be in both the Zimmerman paper, the Princeton paper, and the Town and Country paper, which increases our advertising cost in trying to sell ads. I have been to numerous entities, and they've all told me either A, we're too expensive, B, everybody goes online, C, nobody reads the paper anymore. And then one did tell me, well, you just go online and develop your own and everybody sees it, it doesn't cost you anything. Well, I can agree with some of that, but then how do you get your local news? Like our ordinances, our mayor's corner, our fire department stuff. How do you get that if you don't get it local? But the other thing, Mr. Conkle did tell us, well, we could change our strategy of how we're approaching companies and just do a mass mailing to them. Well, a mass mailing negates out the person to person, and people can just throw them in the garbage. So to me, sending a mass mailing like that is a cost that I don't think we should incur. That being said, come January, he informed us that costs would be going up for advertising, which we're already having trouble selling advertising. So if it keeps going up, we're going to have less and less people to partake of that. Now then, Minnesota, which isn't that far away, does their own newspaper, not as often, but they publish it in-house at a greatly reduced cost. I forget, Joan, exactly how much their ads were, but they were a lot cheaper. So in looking at that, what I would like to present to City Council is I'm willing to do the legwork to see if, like Princeton High School now has a program where they're teaching and using kids to learn printing, to see if we could contract with them to do this. What would bulk mailing cost? If Princeton did do this at the high school, what would we get? Would they have it all ready to just be stamped with the bulk rate, or would we have to do some additional work? We already are writing most of the articles ourselves. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joan. And I want to see that. I do not want to see my town of Baldwin's newspaper look like this, which is nothing but ads. I want our information. I want our mayor's corner to stay on the front page and other pertinent information. I don't know how others feel, but I don't think this is what our residents would want. And this is what we'd have to sell to make the paper pay for itself. And only one or two people cannot sell this many ads. It's all ads, there's 2 articles.
So the request is to talk with the school and see if we could reduce some of the costs.
Correct,
But also too, then what you would be proposing is we would not do that anymore.
correct.
We would move to a whole different realm.
We already have staff time in helping to write the articles anyway. So that cost would be negated out anyway. So, and I'm a volunteer, and maybe hopefully someday we'll get some more, that I could see it with cheaper ads paying for itself.
Okay, as we brought this here, you brought this tonight, I'm not sure that I'm ready to absolutely make a decision.
That's
You know what I
fine.
mean, in the minutes that we're allotting ourselves at this point. I do know that we did do a mailing years previous, a newsletter, and the one thing that excited us about this particular thing was that it was gonna go to all of a much broader base of people. And we've only had one issue so far that has gone out. Now we seem to have a problem with it. So if the advertising is gonna go up, and if so would Conklin, do you know, would he take what the high school would do and publish it and do that as well? You know what I mean, to broadcast it?
You mean, would they meet the high school's price?
Yeah, okay, hang on, let's take a step back. Okay, so your question at this point in time is, would we authorize you to talk to, like, the high school and find out if there was some savings we could have?
And the post office to see what,
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, what do you think? I don't have a problem with that.
I'm fine with it. You might as well see what other costs there are out there.
So, and I'm just, that we ultimately made a decision to do this. We had done a newsletter 10 years ago, and then we stopped doing the newsletter because, number one, it was going only to Baldwin residents and not necessarily all the Baldwin residents.
right,
And at that point in time, I do believe it was costing us about $4,000 in postage. We had a bulk mailing rate, and we folded them and did all of that, whatever, and then sent them to the post office, and so at this point in time with this scenario here now, while we have ads in it, I think that we're never going to get away from ads in order to make it reasonably priced, right? So that being said, if we have those ads in it, they're supposed to, if we can sell all of these ads, take care of all of this. I'm just telling you what we
I agree.
were told. So if the pieces are being moved, whatever, if the ends are getting moved on, then I need to know about that in much more detail before I'm ready to dive in and make a change.
Can I say one thing real quick?
You may.
Joan, correct me if I'm wrong. We had asked Mr. Conkle originally to help us with the ads and selling them. And today he told us that he has ads in these other papers. And I was left with the impression that he would be trying to sell ads for himself in the other papers and not necessarily us first. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joan.
You would agree with that too? You heard the same thing, that he was gonna kind of.
I think that's probably the underlying, scenario here.
Yeah.
That's what sold it for me,
Yes.
was the fact that he was also going to help do the ads that took to.
Mary, do you want to
do
kind
that.
of elaborate on that? So he said to get our paper launched, he was giving us a discount on our advertisement, but when he's out and about getting advertisement, he promotes Princeton and Zimmerman today's advertisement because he gets more money for it.
Yeah,
So he doesn't go out and actually.
sell our ads.
Well, as far as I know, we have the ability to change this at any time in mid-course. We're not stuck with a contract that's forcing us to do this, so if that really is the case, then I'm gonna call it, it's something different than what I was made to realize, or understood that we were gonna have in the beginning.
Right. I mean, right now, our cost before ads is $4,950.
And as I do remember, I think it was like $4,500 to mail the newsletter when we did it back at the same time. And so the whole thing was, number one, to bring that back. There was a decision made to stop the newsletter totally, which happened for several years. And then the thought was to bring it back because it would roughly be the same cost, sans advertising. And however, it was going to get to a much broader audience.
And the feedback I've gotten is everybody has liked getting it. I will say that. But my concern, as I said earlier, is we are an insert and we go in the middle here after 2 pages of ads. Now, my concern is people see the 2 pages of ads and aren't going to look for our insert. That's all I say.
So I think we can say yes.
Thank you.
Speak with the school and see what that would do for us at this point in time, but I think ultimately the postage, my expectations are the postage is gonna wind up being about the same as what we're doing here. So
Probably.
if that's more expensive than what we're gonna want to do or continue to do, then,
That's fine. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Mary. All righty, the next one is Julie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am wonderful.
Good evening.
Name and address for the record, please.
Julie Hardy Weidenborner, 14312 314th Avenue, Northwest, Princeton, Minnesota. I am here on behalf of Frontier Trails Homeowners Association as their president, and I had three concerns that I'm bringing forward. One is there's been some plow damage, not intentional by any means, but the road had been kind of dug up into pretty big significant sections in our outlots that are next to the road. And it disturbs the water flow off of the road and into the ditch. And it's pretty deep gouges. And we're hoping that the council will have some repair to that. It's the first time probably in, well, all the years that we've lived there, over 21 years, that has been a problem.
We'll blame it on the new guy, Al.
And I don't think it was intentional. It probably is something that nobody really pays attention to, except when we've had the rain. Now it's been kind of pooling up in that gouged area in two sections.
Al, can we have Zach go and take a look at that?
Yeah. It happened quite a bit because it was such a soft spring, it was really difficult
Wet
to
and mushy
plow.
year, you're not the only place that.
Yeah, just because we tend to mow some of those areas just to, keep it looking clean and nice in that area. That would be perfect, thank you. The telemetry unit, I just want to do a preemptive kind of thing with that. I want to ask some questions about that. If this is really something that's required in the permit, why haven't we been cited by the MPCA or the EPA or whoever does the management of that if we have been out of compliance for 25 years?
I read this for the first time at 5 minutes to 7. I have that very same question.
Yeah, because
I don't believe that while it would, quote, get us in compliance, we've never been out of compliance.
right.
So, yes, I have that
Okay, good.
same question.
Good, thank you, because then you read my mind. I was just wondering what was happening with that for the, and then the third is the last time that NSU was here to present, I was kind of bothered by their charges for that we were charged for so many hours of their time when really they only presented for maybe 15 minutes. And so I'm wondering if we can fix that for the future, that we have that at the beginning of the meeting. And I mean, there was a dog issue that took almost an hour and a half. And so I feel like Frontier Trails was paying for them to be here for an hour and a half while they were discussing the dog ordinance. And so that didn't sit real well with me when it was so expensive to have them here, which was of course beneficial to have their information. And so just stating.
Note taken, I think what's gonna wind up happening is with all of our professional people, the trip charge and the time they're sitting here, they're gonna charge us for, and I don't know how we get away from that, I should say. I can talk to them and find out. I don't know that we needed two people, if you will. So we can talk about that and with them. But the rest of it, I mean, they're here giving us that was a yearly report, an update on that, something we expected them to do. So whether it was travel time and things that they charged us for, kind of out of our control, we can talk to them and ask them, but I'm not gonna guarantee results either way on that.
Okay. And then, so then that would beg the question then for other things that happen in the city, are we charging the residents those reverse charges as well? Like for the dog ordinance that we have
Yes.
the lawyer input, so then the homeowner then is paying for the lawyer fees then?
Every one of us who lives in Baldwin is paying for everybody around this table right now.
Right, so then but this time then, just 41 people then are paying for those
Correct.
those things instead of
Yes,
that.
because we would have no reason for NSU to be here otherwise.
Okay, so for lawyers, though, when you have somebody coming in and talking about the dog ordinance, that was specifically for that one gentleman. Was that one gentleman going to be charged the lawyer fees then that you guys and we all incurred that only benefited him?
No, because if you remember, that was a specific thing that was about the dog ordinance, that was about our troubles getting things recorded with the county. That is about our troubles with the sheriff's department not being able to, quote, do their job when they're called out, whatever. So that would be something that the entire city's gonna pay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So in the future, is there a way that we can try to relieve some of the costs for the 41 homeowners that would be responsible for a lawyer that's sitting here and answering 20 minutes of questions instead of we paying for the whole time, or the NSU that we have them at the beginning of the meeting rather than at the end of the meeting or the middle of the meeting to try to save some money is what I'm trying to say.
So as we recall, and you recall, for the same reason as what is happening right now, and the entire city is getting charged for extra time and hours of people sitting here to answer your questions, that came in on a public request as well, right? And so that was a guy that wanted to talk to us about his troubles. We also had the county attorney was here. We had our attorney here, and we knew that some of those things were coming. I tried to address that with that gentleman, in fact, to say, hey, we've got more on the agenda about this, so sit and wait. So we did try and do everything we could possibly do to rush that forward, you know, and in the case of that, I'm not gonna guarantee that I can ever control it on, quote, the nights.
Sure.
That NSU is here for that.
Yes, absolutely. I completely understand, and the dog ordinance absolutely had to be addressed for sure. Just tossing it out there as points of conversation to see if, you know, that this is being addressed and that we can somehow try to.
And for whatever it's worth to you, along those lines of trying to save dollars, we are trying to stay as hands-off as possible with NSU so that they can do what they're contracted to do and nobody's, quote, in their way.
Perfect.
Rush.
Mr. Mayor, this came out for the one-time annual review, right?
Correct.
So it's just the one time.
And for whatever it's worth, I don't mean to cut you off, Tom, but for whatever it's worth, I would expect that every year,
Okay,
at least so that we have an understanding. We're looking eye to eye and finding out what's going on there for real.
for sure. And that's great clarification as well. I didn't know if that was going to be quarterly or
No, I
it's
think
just
it's
an annual kind of thing.
If
Perfect.
something were to go awry and there was something spectacular happened out there, we would call them in, you would know about it. And
Yes.
that would be for that specific reason as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Have a great evening. Is there any others, Joan? Close the public request portion. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to, I can approve the consent agenda, but I did call Joan earlier today about the meeting minutes of May 6th. I just think directly related to the fire department elections versus appointments. You weren't at that meeting, but it was a long discussion, and I think some more detail needs to be listened to, not per word like we had with the ladder truck.
So what you're promoting then, if I get you right, is you would like to remove the minutes of May 6th, which we can do,
Yep,
from this consent agenda, and then a motion to approve it.
correct.
There's a second.
No second now.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? These May 6 minutes, hopefully we will have put back together and then to everybody's liking, and then they'll come in the June 2nd meeting, I think.
Third, I think.
They'll come back at that point in time. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Engineering, discuss, approve, disapprove construction plans for Sandy Lake and Lake Diane improvements.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. So in front of you guys, everyone tonight, is the construction plan set for the Sandy Lake and Lake Diane Improvement Project. We have substantially completed the construction plan set. We also have attached a request for quotes packet as well as a engineer construction estimate. So the hope would be that this would be approved tonight so that we could go out for quotes with the next month, and then hopefully in the June meeting, come back with those quotes and have council approve one. I know city's only had a couple days with this, so if the city would like a little more time to look things over before giving the final okay, I think that would be okay too, just as long as we could maybe make it contingent tonight on approval. Then one other thing I wanted to mention specifically with this is the Sandy Lake portion of the work. The storm sewer we're proposing to put in is pretty tight next to the road right away. So we are requesting, or we will try to be getting a temporary construction easement from 2 properties out there. Those easements are here tonight as well. And that could either be city-led or my office could try to contact the property owner to try to get that done. But that is something we would have to get signed and ready before construction could start, or we could accept quotes. If anyone has any questions or comments.
That easement over there, is that because there's a septic system there or close to it?
Nope,
or
so
no?
it's just because it's so tight, getting an excavator in there, digging that trench out. We could save some of that road yet. We wouldn't have to tear as much as that up. If we had kind of more of that green space that the property has, kind of put some of that dirt into and.
And the whole point is to use it for construction easement, whatever. and
Correct.
return
It's,
it at the end.
yep, it's just
Temporary
temp,
construction
Yep.
easement. And if anybody knows the person, it's a single man who owns both properties where we need the easement. John W. Shelty, Schletty. He owns, Mr. Mayor, he owns the properties on each side of the 199th and a half street. So he owns lot 14 and 16, and we need a portion of both.
Okay, what are the wishes of the council?
We got this from these stormwater projects we did. I think we spent between Lake Diane and Sandy Lake, I believe it was $130,000 last year. With Hoyt Construction was one. I'm trying to think of the other one.
And that was with the soil and water,
Yes,
doing the engineering, the joint project portion of this.
correct, yes. So,
yeah, and we'd probably send it to Hoyt and some other of the local contractors and maybe some of the bigger guys we work with too.
What, you guys aren't staying?
You want to go home and babysit my husband, then I can.
He said it, I didn't. Like the drywall guy, Raymond the Framer.
Oh, damn straight, we never touch legal descriptions. We get those from the engineer. Who knows, meets and bounds.
no, I'm just looking at my
48
phone.
degrees, 15 seconds, 38 degrees.
All right, before we get off the rails here,
We will do
I
that.
would like to, I would suggest that we, approve this at this point in time. We're gonna need to know the number. So once the bid comes in, if it's like absolutely blasted out of the water, we always have the ability to refuse all bids, if that's the case, right? So not dug in yet. That being said, as far as the easement goes, is that something your office can handle, or do we need to
Yeah.
get Bob involved as well?
Well, all the documents drafted, now someone just has to
And
get in
I just,
contact.
as Mr. Holm pointed out, if you look at your legal description,
Yep,
it does say I sent.
yep, we'll look into that for sure.
Well, if you do it over in Isani, then we don't want to pay for it.
But yes, we kind of did have that estimate too, kind of thinking around,
The June 11th? Is that the date?
yeah, we would want quotes back by June 11th so that we could accept them at the 17th meeting. But I was gonna just mention, I'm thinking the construction cost is around that $46,000. And then some of our fees for managing observation and stuff are in there too, if anyone was curious, but.
I'll make a motion to approve.
including the temporary easement.
Yes.
Yeah,
Second?
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Excellent. Letter B, discuss, approve, disapprove Resolution 2615, city acceptance of Hardy Homestead Development.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. This resolution is in front of everyone tonight because the Hardy Homestead development located in Baldwin has been substantially completed with its construction activities. It has also submitted and reviewed by my office and approved an as-built construction drawing. So per their develop agreement in place, the developer has requested that the council consider acceptance of the development, which would then initiate the 2-year warranty period. With that, that would reduce his letter of credit security down to the 10% warranty value, so that would happen as well. So release of some of his security, which would bring it down to about $33,143.78.
Wishes of the council.
Mr. Mayor, we did go on a road tour. We did check out this area too, and we didn't see no issues. A lot of dirt. It was,
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
culverts had big boulders around them. So I don't really, did you?
Vegetation, shoulders were fine, the vegetation. Wasn't anywhere that.
Recommending approval.
Yes. I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion. All righty, letter C, discuss, approve, disapprove invoice from West Branch Construction for the 278 culvert grading project.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. West Branch did complete their construction activities at the 278th Culvert Grading Project. They performed that last week. They did submit their invoice, which does match their original quote. So since the construction work is substantially completed, this is here tonight for approval.
What are the wishes of the council?
I went down, looked at it, it looks really nice.
Yeah,
They
they
put
do.
some nice mats and stuff in there.
Is that a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve
I'll
that.
second it.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion. D, discuss progress on 2026 street reconstruction project.
Yeah, so just wanted to give an update. Things are moving along really well. They finished blading out the gravel today. Hope is to get the final testing done on that tomorrow. And then they're basically ready for paving. Unfortunately, Knife River can't get, they're kind of, TS is at the mercy of Knife River, who's their sub. They can't get there till next week, probably later in the week. But, so yeah, we're thinking later next week we'll have the first lift of asphalt on there, and then it's another probably week or two of restoring all the disturbed areas around it, doing the driveways, and getting that final lift on, so.
Excellent. So even with the rain we had there, actually getting in and out pretty quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks really good over there.
Okay, any other questions on that? Then we have Marlene, we added her here for the cemetery map. Rush.
Yeah, so, I invited, Marlene, to come, because we've been discussing the cemetery here with, Lester, not being there. And I did talk to Sam, earlier this week, and right now we do have, he does have the data from April 25th.
Is there not a copy for everybody?
Right here. April 25th, to current. So, he has that information, and that is the, $65 to $70 charge that will be for those. I don't know the exact number. And then, Marlene, had, wanted it color coded here, and I asked, Sam if he could put this together and then kind of give us a ballpark pricing of what to maintain this going forward, and then what, to update the map as well. So, Marlene, did you have any questions on this by looking at it?
What I noticed on this map, you have 6, 5, and 7.
Yep. Yes. So this was kind of intended to just be an example for now.
Okay.
Get initial feedback, see what everyone's thinking, then we would go through and finish that out, that portion.
Okay.
But this is kind of the general gist of what it would look at like. And I think about a month or so ago too, there was maybe discussions of more stuff being added, like maybe the trails within it or some of the paths. I don't know, or maybe getting an aerial in there. I don't know if that was still on the table too, if something we wanted to add or.
There are walkways out there. They are on this map.
Yeah.
This is the map. It would be nice to have. But, it's nice to have this to go by when you're out there. But then what, they have that for the main working one. But they could almost separate the old that map there should probably be just two.
Well, I think what we could probably do there is, I mean, obviously, 11 by 17 is pretty small. Cartoon, if you will. But I think what we can also do is we could take and make the blocks in a D size as well and get that even able to look at that. Or even if we took and made block 6, 5, and 7 and 11 by 17 turn.
Sure.
You know what I mean, horizontal, whatever, at least we'd have multiple pages, but.
Multiple pages, but I do know that Baldwin at one time had each block on a separate
We could do that as well.
page. That's kind of nice where you're working block and that's kind of,
So, Joan?
So now we're talking about replacing that map there with this color coding. Maybe you guys can decide what size you want it to be, but then going forward, maybe discussing doing separate sheets for blocks. Like you said, but that maybe we could get a start on it. We already approved the $1,200 for that map. I think that map's too small. I agree with Marlene. Do that color coding at a bigger size.
Yeah, and then,
Maybe going forward and looking at doing blocks on one sheet of paper. So when people go out there, they can actually find stuff.
Mr. Mayor? Just so you're aware, the cemetery fund right now, it was down to 10,250, but it looks like we got some lots in there, so it's 11,726, and we don't fund that. So I just want to be, you know, with the public works out there mowing, weed whipping, you know, it's gonna eat away, chisel away at that. And then I was just asking Sam for like a rough estimate for our conversation tonight, what that would cost. Or just wanted to be aware of that.
Yeah, as Joan mentioned, we had the 1,200 in place. I think for what's left with that, we could finish the bigger one, get that printed within that 1,200. If we were to then do some more maps of the blocks, I'd maybe have to look into it a little bit more to see how much that would cost more. Probably not too much, just because it'd be, all the data and work is there. It's just kind of doing a little work on our end to section it out appropriately, but.
I could ultimately see having the D size that would hang on the wall, if you will, whatever. Then do 8.5 by 11s would be much larger. You know, maybe 11 by 17s for each block, just for a daily look. And I mean, even at that, if you had this in a DWG file, then I could print whatever we wanted and you guys would. You know what I mean? If you'd be willing to, I don't know if you'd be.
It is, I don't know what I don't know if GIS is DWG. I know our CAD is.
Yeah.
But
That's where I'm assuming it's coming from, is your CAD, right?
no, this is GIS created,
Oh.
so.
Okay, well, I would say see what you can do. What are the wishes of the council? I think we move forward with what's being requested by our.
And then do you want to also, with that, update that information from April?
Yeah,
20?
so I guess just to back it up a little, I think first things first, we should get our master data set up to date. So it sounds like, I think we're about a year out now from when we had last did updates. I think if that, however it's tabulated with the city, if that's in an Excel file, if that gets sent to us with the lots that have changed, highlighted specifically, then we can go through and get that added to our data set. Then we can work on the map and make sure we have one that's actually fully up to date. Is that, I don't know what has all changed for lots out there.
It is in an Excel spreadsheet, and
Yeah.
anything that was added, changed, or anything as of April 2025, we put in red.
Awesome, yeah. Then we can go right through and get that added. But then I guess my question then would be maybe for Marlene, is there a way then for you to look at this and maybe add anything you think we're missing or you would like to see on this? Or is this, does everyone think this is a good, once we finish it out with the bolded lots and blocks, is that a good final product to be put up there? Or is there something we need to add yet to this? Let's see.
Gone through on the individual blocks, and all the names, and I've erased, did the new section. That, but it's nice when you're out there working to actually just write it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know about the color. I know that, well, I was with Blue Hill, and we had more of a pinkish color. I don't know,
Sure.
a little bit lighter, maybe.
Okay.
That's getting
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I heard ya.
But no, that's kind of what I want to know, if there's stuff we can change on our end before. And
I know we had like a pink and yellow.
Okay,
And,
And I think we just update it once a year. We've had, yes, going forward.
sure. Yeah, so we can continue with
The
that.
direction you need then?
I think so, yes. So we'll start,
So you'll do that size for the $1,200 color coded.
yes, yeah. And then if we want to start looking more into the individual blocks, like I said, we might have to see where we're at. If we're still under that 1,200, then we'll make it work, but
Sounds good.
yeah.
Look forward to that.
Yeah,
Everybody's,
yep. Thank you for adding this.
okay, is there anything else under engineering? That was the last one, the one that I added. Now we're gonna get to Frontier Trails, and I hate to do this to you here, but I'm gonna ask that we table this at this point in time, because I had read this for the very first time tonight, just before the meeting, and I have some more questions for NSU before we go and we do that. So at that point in time, if I would entertain a motion.
Second meeting
to
or-
table, yeah,
Second meeting of June?
do the second meeting of June.
You're referring to something I have not seen. Could you ask Joan to email that to me?
Oh,
In the packet.
sure.
I didn't see that in part of my agenda.
This,
packet.
oh, this was just an email from,
Oh,
that's whether we want new art, or got a used one, and there's some questions in there that needed to be.
oh, I
asked.
see. I've seen that.
I'll make a motion to table it to June 17th.
Yes, because I have, okay, excellent. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, thank you, gentlemen. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. All righty, road report, Mr. Walker. Letter A, discuss public works.
Public
report.
Works, if there's any questions, everything's on the paper in front of you.
Excellent. Letter B, discuss approve, disapprove cell phone for new hire public works maintenance tech. I'm rolling you through it, brother. That, what are the wishes of the council? You want the new guy? Do we want him to be here for 90 days or something like that to make sure this all works out before we roll into the cost of a cell phone?
I think that would be probably beneficial.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good idea.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
what is the cost of having another cell phone?
About $50.
$50 a month? The other question is, so we have 2 cell phones back there now, correct? Is he gonna be separate from is he gonna be out working alone that he needs a separate cell phone? Do we need to incur this cost? That's my question. I mean, he's always gonna be with somebody. If for some reason he's on call, then he can have that second cell phone. I guess I don't understand why we need to incur the cost of having another cell phone.
I would agree. I don't think I think he's gonna be training, so
Well, and then the other part of that too is when Phil retires in a year,
take his.
then we'd take that one.
Yeah, it just, we're incurring a monthly charge and, you know, those will only go up. I don't see a reason to spend the taxpayer money on another cell phone.
So then, with that in mind, let's have a motion to disapprove this at this point. If it comes up again, there's some crazy reason, we can always bring it back.
Yeah.
I guess there was a concern if he was on call, but
But then he could just use the other technician's cell phone, because that person would not be on call.
Yeah, I didn't put it on your, I didn't. But I agree with the discussion, I mean, so I'll make a motion to disapprove.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. All right, letter C, discuss chip crack sealing microsurfacing for 26.
Yeah, this was me. So before the meeting, Sam and I went out and we looked at the roads that were crack sealed and chip sealed last year, and there was 3 developments. Hidden Hollow, Country Ridge, and Baldwin and Meadows. So Sam took pictures. They're good candidates there. He was gonna look at, because these developments are 20 to 25 years old, in that range. So he was gonna consult, get Shane's opinion and jump in and kind of like do a scratch course on some of these and then
Did
do,
on 300.
yep,
Yeah, they're,
That turned out quite well, in fact.
yeah.
like Tom mentioned, I'd like to get Shane's thoughts too before we get too crazy, but yeah, I think definitely they might be in the condition where we might have to do that scratch course. It's just a little more expensive, but it gives it that extra reinforcement to,
So that, which developments is that then?
It's Hidden Hollow, Country Ridge, and Baldwin Meadows. Country View, thank you. Sorry. And the Meadows of Baldwin.
Wait a minute. Baldwin Preserve?
Baldwin Preserve, thank you, sorry. Yeah, I'm over.
Live there.
Yeah. There's so many Baldwins. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
we have another Baldwin development.
Rush gets a new road just before.
I didn't,
Okay,
there's 3 of
let's,
them.
If we'll do this, let's have a motion or make a motion to approve Sam, talk with Shane, whatever you got to do, and then move forward at least on feasibility of these.
Yeah, and then I think it would be beneficial to have a quick workshop and then like, not the next week, but the following week to go over like what we want to do. You know, since we got some repairs here, you know, like Lake Diane, Sandy Lake, and then we got Seal Pro's final invoice that came in too. But to see where we're at and what we want to do and how much microsurfacing is going to come in per mile. And then also we got sinkholes. We got, later on here, we got chip sealing, crack sealing. That Public Works came up, so we want to know what we want to tackle this year with the money.
Right, well, I think at this point in time, if these are the 3, then you got to put these in the direction that you want, I guess, us to go. And I say that because if this is the first thing, I'm looking at just this mere agenda and saying Hidden Hollow, Country View Ridge, and Baldwin Preserve.
You're not going to be able to do them all.
Well, I don't know that until we get a number for it. And once we do have some estimate, whatever, then that's going to lead us for the rest of them to whether we want to do that. So I guess, you know, rather than throwing all of this out here at the same time, whatever, do we want to find out what Hidden Hollow is going to be? What these 3 are going to be?
Yeah,
And then that would be our repairs, our costs, our project
yeah, to see what it is per mile.
for the summer.
Yep.
because we knew going in that we were gonna do over here, and this project is going well and about done. Came in under what we had hoped, so this is a good thing. We have a few dollars here. But at any rate, I think, to me, that's the way we gotta play it.
You want to do Wolf Ridge Second Edition and Woodland Ponds and whole Seven Corners of Hell.
We just picked this out
Vincioni.
because we're just trying to get, the cost per mile.
Okay, so, do we want to send Sam, we do want to send Sam on these 3 particular areas, whatever, for
Yeah.
microsealing,
Yeah.
microsurfacing, crack sealing and microsurfacing. Okay,
And I did do a little
Microsurfacing.
investigating on pricing from our last year's project, so if you are doing that single coat on the nicer roads, it's probably about 60,000 for construction a mile. If you're doing that one where you gotta do the scratch and then another one, you're probably closer to that 90,000 a mile. Probably what we're looking at. Just for construction.
but you want to do further investigation to give us a more firm number? Okay. Is that good? Are we okay?
Yep.
Then I'd like a motion to send him in that direction.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion is seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter D, discuss access date on driveway permit applications.
Yeah, was this the one, Dan, we were talking about? Where people were putting, out for over a year on these?
This was the developers that are doing it.
Yes. Yep, and the only time I can see it's when, of course, when it's winter, where they have to wait till spring, but they were putting them out for over a year. It was kind of I think, building a home only takes probably 6 months, I would say. So just want to get the council's feedback on that. Dan, if you have anything to add.
We can always put a 180-day limit on that with the ability to extend it administratively, that we're on top of what they're doing there.
Because that would get them to, or force them, if you will, contact with us to tell us.
Yeah, instead of waiting, the year, and then Kayla and staff have to follow up and track them where they're at. There was one in, what was it, Battlebrook? That we looked at?
Oaks of Battlebrook
Oaks,
Second Edition.
Yep. There's one of those. So,
All right, well, if we do that, then really the only thing we're having problems with are the access date is gonna come up on the date that building permit for the home. So basically what we'd do is we'd change that. That's gonna be, not an ordinance, we wouldn't need a public hearing, we wouldn't need anything. Nope. So, or add that to it and bring it back. In the consent.
Mayor, you could just approve it now, and we'll just change the form.
Okay, so we would add 180 days to that. So is that a motion, Tom?
yes.
Approve the additions of that language?
Yep.
Second.
Second.
Motion is second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter E, discuss culvert concerns. We've got no concerns with culverts, do we?
That you?
There's some culverts, but I think what we're gonna do at this time, everything is still flows through there. It just, I think as they plug, I think we'll just do the ones that plug completely.
So to clean out.
We'd clean them all, yeah, because we drove around, I went with Zach, we drove around, looked at some of them, and they've been like that for years. And so if we clean them out, if they've been sitting like that, the bottoms are gonna be rusted. And so I think what we need to do is just, if they plug, replace them at that point instead of doing a whole bunch of them.
So you're just addressing a concern.
Yeah.
It's just not urgent at
Yeah.
this. Letter F, discuss, approve, disapprove 127th Avenue cul-de-sac repair.
Yeah, I can go there. So this is another one Sam and I looked at before the meeting, and it's hard to tie in. Sam was saying that we probably need to do an overlay in there.
Question, this is 127th Street, I'm assuming, not Avenue, correct?
Yes.
Street, yes.
Okay, because I'm going, we don't have 127th Avenue.
Yeah, Pitt Street.
North Street.
This down there, and then I did take some pictures beforehand. It's pretty bad here.
The end of it is like piled
Yeah,
up.
there's a pile of,
Pushed up, it's just,
I don't know if you can see that. Here,
I
I'll
can't,
bring it-
the whole road is alligator.
So, Sam, you've looked at it?
Yeah, so
Is that
the,
a reclaim and overlay kind of a thing at this point in time? or
at
is
a
it-
minimum, I don't know if we'd even want to explore subgrade corrections, but for sure, it's past its stability. You gotta at least reclaim and pave to fix what we're seeing, so.
And so,
One by Schumacher's,
we have used,
south of his house.
oh, really? Over by,
Over by what's his face? What was his name?
yeah.
That Ross Perry always made his,
Yes.
he used to walk.
You're taking me back 100 years now. Yes, exactly.
Remember his name now.
This is not, yeah, while that's ugly, just saying, gentlemen, while that is ugly, that is terribly ugly.
But that was on that guy's land, so I don't
Yeah.
think we can have no right repair.
Yeah, there's 2 cars a year that actually see that.
Yeah, there's
So-
2 homes, there's
School
2
bus.
houses.
The school bus turns around on it, yeah, and there it is.
Garbage.
And
Dwayne.
There is also something that
It
we
was
need to
encroaching
look
on
at.
Dwayne's yard.
Yes, exactly. There's something about that, whatever, that is actually on private property. So before we can actually go in and find out if that is the case, because we're gonna have to do on that.
Okay.
So if you want to, let's, we can direct our people by an approval at this point in time to look into, you've looked into it already here now, but now what we're gonna need to do is.
I guess I can, with the council's permission, I'll talk to Sam and we'll figure out what is our road right of way.
Yeah, there was private property signed in there, I do believe.
Yep.
Yeah, it probably will require some survey on our end.
But it just, it depends on, if there's something at the recorder's office, and if there is, great, that tells us. But the other aspect of that is what have we been historically maintaining? And
A pile of rubble.
Gee, what did we do though? Cause Ross Perry was trying to force our hand back then to do something for Dwayne. Did we ever get any resolution back?
I don't think we ever did, because it wasn't our property, there was an. I recall.
So we didn't buy any right of way.
So is that cul-de-sac built on, the cul-de-sac is on private property?
Yes, a portion of that is on private property.
Oh, really?
The only thing
There is
that
a
we ever
private-
did,
There is no
the reason it is
trespassing.
as
if you
bad
did
is,
maintenance,
all we ever did is use it for snow storage back then.
Done that for.
well, then that would be a good. It's, remember, it's not only the paved portion of the road or the gravel or the dirt path, it's also the areas on the side of the road that you've done maintenance on, either tree trimming, mowing, this for site distances, or depositing snow.
And I want that determination made before we get into doing anything at this point.
Mr. Mayor?
It would behoove us that we would do that.
Okay, yeah, just fine.
Mr. Mayor, 127th is actually, there's 2 of them. So this, when you said Ross Perry, you're talking about the one by Cameron Lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one's north of Cameron.
Well, I asked him which one and he said, I said by
Well, it's,
Brad's and he goes, yeah. So that one's good down there by Dwayne's old house?
Correct.
Okay, so it's the one going north of there.
You said Dwayne, that also, yes, it's the one north of it.
Okay, so then we probably don't have a right of way issue because that's a platted deal.
Correct.
okay, sorry.
There wouldn't be anything to look at.
Oh, there went all your money right there.
Yeah.
So your summer plans.
Mr. Mayor?
Cancel the trip to the Dells.
Just a question, did we do a Frontier Trails update? I was asked about that as I was using the restroom.
Yes, we did.
Okay, I just want,
We tabled that item on the
The
agenda.
June 17th.
all right, thank you.
I have way more questions to ask.
Okay, that's,
So with this one then, with that cul-de-sac being bad, it's eventually gonna need a mill and overlay, the rest of that going down that.
Yeah, that whole street section has severe alligatoring, and at a minimum, you'd want to reclaim and pave. Want to fix it right.
So not just the cul-de-sac then?
Correct. I mean, that cul-de-sac is in poor shape right now. I don't know how immediate it is, but that whole section would maybe be a future project soon. I know if the city's still interested on continuing to do reclaim paves in the future, I mean, that's probably a good candidate, that whole section there.
Yes, I think we would. I think what we're gonna need to know, the question is so this on the agenda is the 127th Street cul-de-sac repair.
Yeah, with all the rubble.
Yep,
So
this is not
discussion.
reclaiming and overlaying the entire street. This is just.
Yeah.
So do you want to amend this here now to have him take a look at that and give us a number for reclaiming and overlaying the whole thing?
I think it would, because there's really no good place to tie that
Yeah.
into.
The whole road is
To the
alligator.
existing asphalt.
So, and again, here now, I think that this is a concern, but I don't know that this is an emergency.
No, it's only 2 homes in that.
Right? Again, too, and that's, anyway. Okay, so, if you would like to do that, then I think we could entertain a motion to approve Sam looking at the entire project, road and the cul-de-sac, for a reclaim and overlay and do that.
So we're thinking more so feasibility at this point, get some pricing.
Fees and cost and
Okay.
find out, because
Yeah.
we're gonna need to do some planning with, several of the other ones as well, too, to see where they fit, and we're gonna need. And we're about to start budgeting as well, so if something gets shoehorned in. So you wanna make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discuss, approve, disapprove Exhibit A for Resolution 2604.
Everybody should have a copy of this.
What are the wishes of the council?
It's over here. Yeah. Let's see.
Keep in mind, the resolution was adopted on the 18th of March 26, so it's not the resolution we're looking at. We're only looking at Exhibit A.
Was this all the stuff that was listed by Public Works?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's just here.
okay.
The only thing I wanted to add to it is the grading. Doesn't say anything about grading on there. It's just everyday stuff that has to be done. Done every year.
So you want to have all this and this add gravel, road maintenance and grading up to 1,000? Because that gets done every year
Yeah.
by the gentleman in Oldby.
Well, it's just, Zach should be able, I believe he should be able to call and have that, if he needs any of this stuff on there, because it's just stuff that he brings, that we gotta come to the council all the time and approve it all the time. Like your DEF and all that stuff we use daily.
You just have one thing to add to this? did you
Yeah,
say?
that would be the grading, because that's not on there, and that gets done at least twice a year. I mean, it just.
You're talking about the grading of the gravel roads.
Gravel roads, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It gets done at least once for sure, but
I think-
possibly two.
I think this is appropriate. It gives them a list. They know what's under there. I think it's appropriate.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, but it doesn't include any grading. I think the grading that happens once or twice a year, know what I mean? That's something that we can get a quote for or whatever for 2 times a year. That's what we're gonna do. And if something were to happen and it would wash out, we'd bring probably half of that back for whatever road that would be anyway, and then that would be above and beyond. So I guess I'm questioning whether we'd want to add grading to this. So what is in here is appropriate for an appendix or A for the resolution. But I think when we're thinking about grading, yes, that happens every year, but you know what I mean? If there's going to be a specific one, would it cover that? If there's going to be an emergency
washout or
or a
something.
washout or something like that we'd need to discuss that anyway.
That would probably
You know
have
what I
to
mean?
come through him.
Yes, and in the beginning, whatever we would want to be talking about to whoever's doing our grading, you know what I mean, on getting a number for that to start with anyway. Right? So in other words, we use that as a grading, as a project every year, prove it as a project, whatever, then everybody's on the same page, what that happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, and he would probably come to us anyway if there was a washout.
Correct. So that's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense to me to add grading to this. And it's now been motioned and seconded, whatnot, without grading. So if we want to have more discussions about adding grading to it, then this is ready to get approved here now.
Okay, well,
We could always add it at a later date, doesn't,
okay,
not,
If need be.
okay,
It's not on there now, and this helps
okay.
docket as well.
All right.
All right, motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. All righty, discuss, approve, disapprove gravel road grading expenditure of $1,000. What are the chances of that? Mr. Rush or Mr. Walker, both of you are on there.
Well, again,
Quote
it's,
we had, a quote that we got?
There's no quote.
no,
Is this the same thing we just discussed?
this is basically the same thing we just
Oh, you gotta
discussed.
strike it.
It's about grading and
Oh,
the cost and stuff like that.
So this was to, so discuss, approve gravel road grading expenditure of $1,000.
Because I mean, we want to get those roads graded now, correct? Yeah.
Well, he does it with Princeton Township still. He kind of does a 2-for-1. He kind of, when he's in the area for Princeton Township, he'll
Yeah.
come and do ours to save costs, because he's coming from Ogilvy.
He does them all, so.
So you can just strike this.
We want to strike, I need a motion, then let's make a motion to disapprove the gravel road grading expenditure, because let's, clarification here at this point in time. This was an approval to, or a request to
Add it.
possibly approve to add it to the Exhibit A, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we didn't do that, so let's make a motion here now, since it's on the agenda.
Motion disapprove.
Disapprove.
No,
What? No?
no.
Oh, okay, I guess I misunderstood you. This, I had put it on here for that, but this is separate grading for now.
Oh.
Yes,
By
yes.
this
Yeah.
else.
So I'm saying, did we have a quote for this? Or are we just pulling a
Not-
number out of the air, or do we have a quote for this?
No, we don't.
So it varies, he does it by
Yeah.
For all the gravel roads?
Yeah.
So you want a motion to approve gravel road grading not to exceed $1,000?
Yes.
Okay, and then what are we expecting to get done? How much are we expecting to get done for $1,000? All the gravel roads?
It would be, yeah.
So grade all of our gravel roads for not to exceed $1,000.
I'm all,
Is that a motion?
yeah, so I'll make
There
them
is a
all.
second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Letter I, discuss, approve, disapprove, Public Works Supervisor attending Soil Water Conservation District Tour on June 18th.
Yeah, this was, Franny reached out if any, city council members or any, staff wanted to, go to this, this tour. And I just, Zach was heavily involved with it, so I just looking for a motion for him to,
Is the tour just our Sandy Lake projects and Lake Diane projects, or is this everything in the county?
yeah, and I would just state that he would just do ours.
So meet them out there at the time?
Yep, that they're, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jim and I went on it one year. Rode on a bus, went to some sites, got pulled around on a semi-trailer behind a tractor and thought we were up in the ditch.
Interesting. So, does that work then with how this tour is? So would they be able to coordinate that? Because I'm getting different vibes here. Because what they're saying here is gonna be a countywide tour, and he's gonna climb on a bus with them and go across country, county, to look at all the soil and water projects. Now you're saying that you want him to
No,
be
I
only to the Sandy
I
Lake
think it's just for ours.
and the Lake Diane.
Yeah. He doesn't need to be seeing other ones, just to give the information that he,
Her email states that she would like Baldwin staff to join us on an on-site and speak about how the project came together.
yeah.
Okay. That's what it is. Is there a motion
I'll make the motion.
to approve?
To approve, yes, sorry.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Table items, discuss, approve, disapprove, changing administrative citation, civil fine amount to $200, Mr. Rush.
Yeah, so this was table last meeting. Dan wanted to get some input from Bob on this. This is pertaining to the ones that they've been sent multiple letters. They already been the citation of $50 and they still don't give the hoot. So we talked about, it was brought up about a price and Dan said $200. He's seen some other cities go up to $200 instead of $50. So that's why I just wanted council's discussion on this item for the ones that don't comply.
So it's escalating, is that, so it's starting at, I believe it's $50 now? And it can go up to, after the second notice, it goes up, and maybe if you, each notice, you're
I think it's
increasing
the
the
third
fine?
notice they get the 50, right?
So, Mayor, the process is to get a, hi, we think you have a violation letter, call us. Second one is, we know you have a violation, call us, or we're going to fine you. Third one is a $50 fine. Council request was, could you make the $50 fine $200? But it may make sense to do a $50 one and then fourth.
It may. The answer is yes, you could do it originally and go immediately from 50 to 200. But it also makes some sense to say if you don't comply, the next citation is going to be at 200. Give them more of an incentive to work with us.
Can they, once you give them the $200 citation, can you then repeat the $200 citation if they don't comply?
You can.
Okay.
But the problem with that is if somebody took us to court, that would be whether a judge thought that was excessive or not. Typically, by this time, if we have given them 4 notices, friendly, and then it escalates, by that time, you're probably considering turning it over to our office for some sort of enforcement.
Okay.
So I just have it up here for
So there-
discussion.
Okay, and so there's 2 scenarios here that we could do. Leave the $50 and add a $200. Or bump the $50 up to $200 right off the bat. That was the 2 suggestions that were here. And what I'm hearing from council is that leave the 50, add the 200, and more appropriate way to do it. Because at least we're working with the people, and if we have to get.
I think a judge would understand that more. We didn't get compliance. We told them if you don't comply with us, then the fine amount would increase. And so, yes, I guess that would be what I would recommend to the city council. But as I said, if you wanted to bump it up immediately to 200, I think that you have a legal right to do so.
I'll make a motion to add another letter and after the $50 one to a $200 citation.
Second.
I'll second that.
Motion
Well-
and a second.
City staff will bring back an ordinance amending.
And is that
At the
all we
next
need to do then? Is it just amend the fee schedule?
Amend the
We
fee
don't have
schedule,
to
yes.
go-
But at least we now have the direction, and then once it's before you, at your next meeting, it'd be a consent agenda item.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. New business, discuss, approve, disapprove 5-year contract for assessing services. This is gonna be with Jake Stenzel, and he's been doing it for several years now. Remember, some years ago, we moved it away from the county and gave it to Jake, or approved him doing that, and so he had asked at the last local Board of Appeal if we thought we would entertain a 5-year contract this time. And I said, send us some numbers, and here they are. What are the
He's asking for a 6.5% increase each year. Pretty significant, don't you think?
cost of doing things is gonna go up?
How much would the county do it for?
Do we just want to ask, put it out there and ask what somebody else would do it for, just to see verbals or not?
We could. Bob's probably gonna tell us we should. Maybe even we have to.
You don't have to, because this is this is a professional contract, so you're not subject to the municipal contracting law on that. But it's more of a policy issue for you as a council to derive.
Yeah, I think that'd be, won't hurt to do. Get some. And see what the, county would charge, and that's,
That's not my wish to go back to the county. I just want to compare for the people where we're going with what we're doing,
And I told him, shoot us some numbers, and now we have the numbers, and what do we wanna do? That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. We can ask the county, we can, there are other assessors as well if we wanna get numbers. The only reason that I would be comfortable at all with doing this is that phenomenal job with us. To get somebody else to do it for this, I'm not sure. These numbers here now have been made public, if you will. So literally, and now even with the admission of the increase every year, another one could come in for a little bit less at this point. If we're gonna do that, and his numbers have been made public, they have, then if somebody else comes in, I also want to have the ability to go back to him and say, well, this is what we got from somebody else. So all of it is unethical, very unethical. This is not how we should be dealing
who brought this to the meeting?
with it. I didn't
Oh,
think.
no, I'm unethical because I asked the
I didn't
fucking
think it was
question.
gonna be a bad idea.
and I think there's,
That's fine.
I think there's also, we gotta look at the aspect of the training
Oh, absolutely.
county that's involved with this piece of
And
it.
so-
If you get somebody else to retraining,
Absolutely.
I'd just be interested to know where we're at, how we're doing compared to what the county would charge today. They used to be in that neighborhood of 20,000. I'm sure it's beyond that now. What I want to know is our hired individual getting a bigger gap than where we started out, or is it going in pace and step?
I just think though.
So.
I don't think I want to go out and shop the world. I just want to
You
find
just
out what
wanna
the
compare
county.
it to the county. All right. So is that your motion then? We'll table this, because I think. the
I'll make a
county-
motion to table this contract to start. That's my motion to table.
When to?
Separate motion after about,
I think we could wrap it all into one, but that's fine. Is there a second to table this contract? We're not rejecting this contract.
I'll make the motion when we table it to. Or second, I'm seconding it.
So, and I would think that we'd get a number by the county by the June meeting. Wrap this up.
okay, great.
June 3rd?
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion
Make
carries.
a motion that we reach out to the county and ask them how much their services would be.
Second?
I'll second it.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, letter B, discuss, approve, disapprove, initiating a subdivision zoning ordinance amendment for general housing. Mr. Holmes,
Generational housing.
what did I say?
General.
General,
General housing? Oh, yeah, generational housing.
that's the housing down the road from General Hospital.
Generational.
Oh, your general housing.
Okay, and so I'm assuming that the best thing to do at this point in time would be to think about the planning commission and/or directing our zoning administrator to speak about that and make the changes.
So, Mayor, Councilmember Holm had contacted me, questions about a property that they want to subdivide off a lot so that family can build a new house adjacent to the parents on the existing property. Doesn't have frontage to a street, have direct access to a public street either. So I outlined some ways that it could be allowed, because we do kind of get this request from time to time. Pretty much wrote what could be in ordinance form already. Suggested that it be brought to the council for direction to send it. Planning Commission also comes up with this issue quite often about what to do about housing options in Baldwin, given there's no utilities for multiple attached housing. So this is one way that you can accommodate it, basically almost like accessory dwelling units, but in the scale of a full house. And it would be set up so that there'd be protection to be able to subdivide the property in the future, and that the density still wouldn't exceed one home per 2.5 acres. So you're not doubling up on lots per home or homes per lot.
In this situation that I spoke about, the intent would be set it up so that in the future, the rest of the parcel could be subdivided. A road would be put in, all the lots would then have the frontage. That second phase. And where the house and the lot that would be created for the relative to move in on the parents' next to the parents, would be placed so it fits with a ghost, just to call it a ghost plat of what it would be platted out when it's done. And when the parents originally sold the land and the subdivision that went around it, there was access intent left with the intention of making an L and connecting everything in the future. This is just a means to just do a lot on this temporary basis with it's got to go, the next phase is going to full plat.
Mayor, this approach would basically keep the density consistent with everybody else's allowance, allow kind of an interim initial development of one lot, a larger parcel, with attention paid to how the property needs to be subdivided and developed in the future, so that you're not boxing areas off or resulting in situations where you're not going to be able to get streets through to other properties and creating issues for adjacent properties as well.
So then in the case of that, would the quote ghost plat, that would need to be developed before this goes forward?
Or the lot that's created is drawn up to accommodate where that right of way and the other lots are gonna go. So at least if that has its boundaries defined, then you can finish the rest. Cause what you're talking about is going a whole other step with engineering, surveying everything.
Mayor, what you suggest is what's required today, basically. If you want to subdivide this one lot, you basically have to do what Hardy Homestead did, is build the whole street. Whereas this would allow build the one lot with the drawing showing how it can be subdivided in a street constructed in the future when there's more lots than this. So it's like the second part of Hardy Homestead.
But in the event here now, this would be something that would be citywide, if you will. A change to the zoning ordinance where this would be applicable or possible to do in other scenarios too, not necessarily just focusing in on it. It's the one issue that's bringing this to our attention, but through zoning amendments.
Correct. And I said, I've gotten multiple inquiries about the same type of request, at least four. And with the idea that you're looking to the future, how to build this street. You know, one of the challenges in Baldwin is you have people that want to subdivide their property fully down to the 2.5 acres, and others that only want to do the 10 acre, 5 acre. So, you know, you're trying to lay out neighborhoods with street connections, yet the next property owner can subdivide and basically block that. So this kind of looks at that situation and says, long-term, okay, we'll let you do your large lot, but how do you get the streets through this?
Which sans the actual plat, this discussion still has to happen up front.
Yep.
And agreement signed that this is the way that is gonna be. I would make a motion to.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries.
That was a motion to instruct the planning commission and the planner to work
Yes.
on making amendments to zoning ordinances to allow for this.
All initiations, yes.
And just send the note to the planning commission that the council is looking to see something.
Okay, well, I'll be there, so I'll be able to tell them that, but.
I'm here, Mr. West.
I'm just echoing that, let's get that message across.
Okay, discuss, approve, disapprove of health insurance renewal for employees. We have until August. Some new stuff has come in. Our insurance agent, some of the rates have gone up. He has an idea for some specific plans. We'd like to talk more to him about those specific plans, see what they do. We'd like to keep, obviously, all the coverage the same, as reduced a rate as possible. So we're gonna negotiate just a little bit. So, and we should be able to have all of this back by the June 3rd meeting. Table this.
So moved.
Tom made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion by Al. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter D, discuss elections for fire chief. Mr. Rush, this is on here for you.
Yeah, so Mr. Mayor, at the last city council meeting, you weren't here, but with 3-1 vote, the city council made a motion to go ahead with elections versus appointments. And in the handbook on page 28, it was the last meeting, we thought the term expired in December of 2020, this year, 2026. It's actually October 13th, the second Tuesday, for the fire chief and the assistant chief are both up for re-elections in October 13th. And that's under
27.
26. Yep, so just a little over 4 months. And then further down in the handbook, it states when an elected office becomes vacant in any way, the office shall be filled for an unexpired term by election at the meeting in which the vacancy is established. Nominations be made from the floor. We had our fire department meeting last week. They don't meet till July. And to call a special meeting in June, I just think right now with the election, instead of doing 2 elections in a 4.5 month time frame, I would just recommend sticking to having those elections in the second Tuesday of October for both positions, assistant chief and chief.
Question.
So it'd be like 5 months of rudderless fire department.
It'll be
Not sure that would be.
4.5 months.
Quick question and clarification. So when the elections are stated in October, the people who are elected don't take over till the first of the year. That's how it's been. They're, it's just like presidential elections. You get elected and you don't take over till, you get elected in November, but you don't take over until January 20th. That's how it's been in the past. So if the election's in October, they still would necessarily would not take over till the first of the year. That's how it's been done before. The other question is what happens with you're gonna have to fill an assistant chief's position, and then whoever you got the assistant chief's position from, you'd likely be a captain, you have to fill that. How are you doing that?
I think it should be the assistant chief will be the interim fire chief until this
I
election.
understand that, but what about the who takes over the assistant chief spot? And then who takes over, whoever you put into that spot, who takes over that, the spot that is then vacated? You got about 4 vacancies happening here with this.
I would suggest here that, we can't have a fire department without a chief, right? And so, and at the last meeting, you guys basically ratified what the SOPs or what the handbook says already. So we're going to have elections, right? That's going to be the next fire chief of the Baldwin Fire Department is going to be by the rank and file. And so with that in mind, if that's going to happen, I think that has to happen right away. So there's a couple of things that need to happen here. We need to determine when is the first opportunity for an election to happen. With all of the hubbub and all of the turmoil that seems to have been created over all of this, with all the animosities, this needs to get put to bed really fast, right? And so whoever the fire chief is going to be, whoever those candidates are that want to run, they should be able to do it right away and fill the vacancy, because we're not having a chief here, whatnot, that's going on vacation. Literally, we have a resignation at this point. So that needs to be filled. And the way our handbook says is on the day. Read that, Bob.
It says, Tom alluded to it, it says, when an elected office becomes vacant in any way, the office shall be filled for unexpired term by an election at the meeting at which the vacancy is established. Nominations may be made from the floor. So
That means immediate.
that means immediate the way you have it written right now.
So I would say, rather than changing all of that and or even going down the road of a one-time change to make this situation work, I would suggest that we find out when the election could be had. And I would also say, I mean, is it June? Is it next week?
The second Tuesday in June would be appropriate. There's no meeting night. It's the alternate month from when we normally have our business meetings. I don't see any reason that couldn't work.
Okay, and so then there's another thing that's going to wind up happening too, because your resignation is going to be on the 31st. It's written today as the 31st. Would you be willing to extend your fire chief services to the June? I'm sorry, I lost it. But when that is, so that we're not chiefless at this point. That would be your effective date of your resignation and then the election.
If the council deems that appropriate, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
And I'm laying out a scenario here that gets us through this whole thing, right? And then literally, as far as I look at this too, as far as like what we had to do, remember? We all had to run for town board positions, whatever, to hang on to our spots, right? And then we had to run for city council positions. So if you're gonna be a candidate, whatever, for our fire chief, and or our assistant fire chief, whatever, then having to run this election right now and take a part of it, and then redo this in October, if that's what needs to happen, that's nothing. That should be an easy peasy thing in my mind for anybody to agree to and want to do. If they want to run our fire department, then by golly, that better not be a big hiccup. Right? And so with that in mind, I would like to see we move forward. I mean, if this is going to call, for lack of a better word, a special election, but it's really not a special election, it's a mandated election. vacancy. The only changes we're making here, which aren't changes, that would be, to our policy anyway, would be, is if Mr. Case would be willing to stay on that extra couple of weeks to get to June, sorry, the second, right? And then elections can happen, and now that election is gonna need to be, as Mr. Case said to me, the whole gamut. So, I mean, if we're gonna be moving people around, you know what I mean? If the chief now, if the assistant chief is the chief, well, now we have an assistant chief that is an open seat. That needs to be held as well. And then if there's a captain, I'm assuming it's gonna be a captain that would move up. Now we would have a captain's seat that would be vacant at that point in time. That would need to be elected as well. Right? So all of these elections, whatever, would need to be happening to, only for the term, if it was a captain, well, now we're getting into semantics. But if it was a captain that was just beginning their 2-year term this year, you know what I mean? That would be for the remainder of that term as well. Getting that?
For me, I just think to have 2 elections in that time frame is, you put somebody in there, okay, and just say, and then they do the chief duties, and then in October, they're not there again. Just throwing that out there. So for me, I think it's just the assistant chief takes over in the interim. We have the election in October, and we gotta discuss the.
No.
So
What I'm asking here, Tom, sorry, Scott, I don't mean to cut you off. But, so what you're saying is, we would appoint the assistant chief to the chief's position. Because that's the only way it works without an election. That's the only way that that person can change from the assistant chief to the chief, is if the city council appoints that person to the chief position for the interim. And there was a huge ordeal at the last meeting that I was not at, over the elections and over all of that you wanted to continue to have elections. So I say we continue to have elections, whatever, and they're gonna have to stand up and run twice if that's what the case is. I mean, literally, if somebody wants to run my fire department, whatever, our fire department, you know what I mean? This is a pretty small piece of something that they'd have to do.
Mr. Mayor, the council approved to stay with elections via the handbook. Then follow what the handbook says. Let's follow what the handbook says. You're picking and choosing there otherwise. I'm sorry. You want to do an elections, do it how the handbook is written.
Yeah, well, I said my piece.
Well, I mean, the handbook tells us, right now, nothing's been changed on that. That was ratified some years ago to be the mode that we need to follow. It's written in our handbook that this is what needs to happen. And it is specific to say, to fill out the rest of the term, and election to fill out the rest of that term. Right? And in this particular case, whatever, we're gonna have several elections that have to happen, because I'm assuming, could be wrong, but I'm assuming that that's gonna clear the plate of other positions as well that we would not wanna leave vacant.
You will, Mr. Mayor, you will for sure have 3 separate elections that night.
And I mean, we're stuck. It's either that or we have to have a conversation tonight about, keep pointing to that because he's got it right there. Or we have to change that. Whether it's change it as a whole, whatnot, or make amends to it for this particular time. I think we just wrap this up, that they are gonna, at the second meeting in June, they are gonna know without question who their fire chief is, who their assistant fire chief is, and who the captains are if things arrange. This is a very neat and organized way to do it, and it's written in the handbook that we need to do it. Any deviation from that is not following the handbook. What are the wishes of the council?
What do you guys, other council members?
I would too, but they're not saying anything.
I think we should follow through with the handbook.
I will make a motion to approve all the elections required depending on how that happens. If it's going to be the chief, It's gonna be the assistant chief, because if that's the way that happens, if the election comes out and there's a chief that doesn't change the assistant chief position, we need to allow this to be left fluid enough to accommodate that, right? Then whoever that person would be, if that were the case, you know what I mean? If they vacated another position, that would be the election I would also.
So is your motion, Mr. Mayor, to hold all the necessary elections to fill all potential vacancies?
All of the required elections to fill the required vacancies.
Yeah, there's the chief and the assistant chief are up October 13th. Two captains are on.
They're
the
gonna have
second
another
Tuesday.
election in October, Tom, as far as I'm concerned.
And there's a
That's-
second
this is-
Tuesday.
This is written, so it be said. So I have a motion to elect a new chief at the second meeting in June, because that's doable. And will that also then include, would you be willing to stay on as chief or extend your resignation date to?
I will if that's what the council decides. I can.
That tidies everything up. And this got to get put to bed, and we got to start moving forward. Because what we are witnessing here, whatnot, without that, I have a feeling is going to tear that place apart. And I'm not going to be around here watching that happen. I'm telling you what, we got too many good people over there, if you will, whatever, that are in it for the right reasons, that are banking on us to do the right thing here. In my opinion, this is it. So that's my motion. Is there a second? I'm not telling you what you said, Al, but you said you thought we should go by what the handbook says.
I think we should.
That's
It's
second.
clear, yeah, I'll second it.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Holm?
Oh, missed it.
No.
Oh, I missed it.
Then you missed it. You're going to stay silent on this.
I was still mulling it over in my head. I wasn't even.
Well, the motion does carry, by the way. Okay, all right, letter E, reschedule employee reviews. We had a problem. One of the employees could not make it that particular day. So it was asked that we just reschedule all of them rather than do them at different times.
Mr. Mayor, I got a question. Do we need to do all these employee reviews? Being that there will be no fire chief per se. The staff in Public Works already got their raises, significant raises. Do we just need to do the clerks? 'Cause unless we plan to give more raises somewhere, I don't see a reason to, you know.
Well, I don't look at an employee review as whether it's raise time or not.
Yeah.
This is a review of their performance and.
Okay, I'm just asking the question.
So my answer, my response would be yes, we still need to have that.
Okay, I'm just asking the question.
And I was just say the four employees.
Yeah, that's fine. Would at some point in time, well, yeah, we'll see what happens with the chief. That would be the only other one that we do.
So, what day you looking at? It was June 8th originally? When's Zach back?
Oh, yeah, sorry, you're right there.
Been it the whole time, Tom.
Getting the streets
What are
wrong.
the wishes of the council?
Jeff, can you lift up the
What
calendar?
would be the next date after the
19th is on a
8th?
Friday, so that doesn't work.
That's your birthday. Oh yeah, we can. June,
When is it back? 23rd?
16, want to do it the 16th?
Everybody's back, everybody's available? Is that what you want to do?
Works for
Got a
me.
motion?
16th would work, yeah.
Motion to move it to the 16th?
I make a motion to move it to the
Thank you. Is there a
16th.
second? Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Yeah, 6 o'clock, that's what you had said. Letter F, discuss, approve, disapprove, Planning Commission resignation for Commissioner Abby Newland, effective May 27, 2026. We have now had a complete turnover and more turnover of the Planning Commission members. No. Well, we don't know.
Who is it? You're Cool Hand Lick.
So Abby Newland, she was a fantastic addition to the Planning Commission, she sold her house. So she's moving.
You're a realtor, right?
So, yep. And she rather unexpected, an offer came up that she couldn't refuse, and there it was. And she tried the best she could to find another home in Baldwin because she doesn't want to leave. Is not able to at the moment. So I would entertain a motion to approve her resignation.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? I want to say thank you, Abby, for the time that she was here. And I hope we find out, this also brings up a vacancy on the Planning Commission as well. So, motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter G, discuss, approve, disapprove, updated resignation for Fire Chief, Mr. Rush.
Well, since this was already a 3-1 or whatever you want to call it, decision to have the special election, excuse me, June 14th, he's willing to stay on, right? That's the date? Is it?
Second Tuesday, June 14th?
No, that doesn't make sense.
That's not the date.
Is it, is it June 9th?
I think it's.
Okay.
June 9th.
I just heard
June
the
9th.
So, and then what we'll do here is we'll approve the updated resignation of June 9th.
Yes.
Will we take that? What are the wishes of the council? I will make a motion to approve that update. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter H, discuss, approve, disapprove, Old National CD options, Mr. Case.
So, Mark came in from, Old National. Al was here when he stopped in. And just in discussing with Al, he didn't want him to renew the CD because it would have been, at a lower rate at that point. They can do a CD for 11 months at
4%.
4%, which I think is a reasonable rate of return. That comes out to be just over $36,000 in interest. My suggestion is just to renew it at $1 million and invest whatever other monies we have and put those into the accounts, so.
We already made that motion. Cut that interest off already.
We made that motion, I just, they hadn't done it yet, that's all I'm trying to.
We're going out for rates.
So now you're saying re-up it for the 11 months at
Yep.
that rate. Is that a motion to approve, or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 11-month CD with Old National Bank at 4%.
Thank you, Mr. Case. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter I, update 100th Street and 297th.
Yes.
I think was part of the, you just signed today.
Trying,
We just signed today another permanent road drainage and utility easement for Bradley Bond and Brioni Lammer, and we will get this recorded tomorrow. As last update that we discussed with the council on this, that my office had recorded all of the easements that we've had to date, and we had about 45% of the property owners signing the easements at the present time. And the last discussion that I recall, quite a while ago, some of the council members were going to go and approach residents, knocking on doors if need be, or any social interactions they had, and try to see if they could secure additional signed easements.
Where we at?
I would like to get some new names of people that haven't signed.
I can have that to you tomorrow morning. Kathy in my office has updated this, the spreadsheet, and I can have that emailed to Joan. If she could share it with the entire council, I'll have that to Joan tomorrow morning.
And then I kind of made the suggestion too, I'd like to get together one day with Joan, because she does all the notarizing, have her ride with, and if they okay it and sign it, she can notarize it right on the spot. I think
Yeah, that would be great.
I just gotta get with her if it's okay to just take one day or one afternoon anyway.
Well, or as necessary, because if you're
Yeah.
not home or whatever, you could.
Yeah,
Make a motion to approve staff hours spent on going out and getting,
because I think
going with.
yeah, I think, don't we have to have 51% or something to follow through with the rest of it?
No, you have to have all of it.
Okay.
What we're trying to do is avoid going into court.
Oh, I see, okay.
If we don't get easements from people, if you're not able, then we have to go into court, and it's called eminent domain. We use the power of the state to require people to basically provide us with an easement. We're buying it from them through a court process.
We don't want to do that.
No.
No.
I like your idea. All right, Mr. Holm has a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. And then we do have a J that is added by Mr. Rush. Discuss fire department meeting.
Yeah, I just wanted to just discuss this. It was unique meeting that we had last week. It got heated between me and the chief because there was some comments about how the elections versus the appointments took place. And I was there to defend myself, but
Can
I just finish and you can chime in?
Yeah, one at a time, please, John.
And then about how we ignored the legal advice of our attorney, how we knew more, and then how we ignored the League of Minnesota. So that's where I asked Chief Case to stop right there, because it was directing from the council decision. And then he went on about appointments, which is fine. He was telling his point about the appointments. And then after that, we went on and there was mention of the assistant chief, of how he's not capable of doing the job if he gets the chief position. And then we went on, my voting record got brought up that Scott listed all the accomplishments on the board that he did as a fire chief, which he should be proud of in his 10 years there, and then saying I didn't vote for any of those. That anti-fire.
I never said that, Mr. Rush.
Yeah, you did. But, so,
Can I say one quick,
Hang on, wait a minute. Mr.
So-
Rush, are you done?
so basically, I'd explain myself to the fire department that I'm not anti-fire. And then, also was brought up that the 3 council members are not for a new station. And that's not true. I'm waiting for the numbers, just like everybody else is, for what this remodel costs versus the new one. So I just wanted this, since I'm the fire department liaison, I just wanted to bring it up. It was a very awkward business meeting, and I did thank the chief for his 10 years of service after that, even though I told him we disagree. So I'll let Scott talk now.
the fire department business meeting is not a public meeting. So the discussion that went on with the firefighters was, I was just informing them of what the council made a decision. I certainly can inform my firefighters of that decision because it affects them directly. And the statements that have whether you've changed your position or not, but statements in the past on what you believe for the new station, there's been those statements that you weren't in favor of that at the time. The question, you know, you and I have a disagreement on your record on things that you've voted for the department. You say a number, I disagree with that, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. We got disagreement. I was just trying to inform my firefighters at my last business meeting of what I thought future that they need to think about for that department. That's the fire chief has that right at the business meeting to talk to the firefighters. The liaison is to bring stuff that firefighters have concerns or questions back to city council. That's how I was planning to have it, but somebody, Mr. Rush did not agree with what I was saying and interrupted me, and I just let it go at that point because I didn't want to prolong a meeting, have that discussion in front of the firefighters.
All right, well, thank you for being candid. Is that, you both said, you have more to say, or?
Yeah, and the only reason I stepped in was because it was directing towards 3 council members their decision of what happened. So I didn't want the council, we're all council, we vote, we're all one. You know, I've lost votes 4-1, 3-2. I'll just say ladder truck, Frontier Trails, etc. I just move on.
Tom's ladder.
Yep. So
My only, the council decisions are the council decisions, but they're also public record, and I don't see why the firefighters can't be aware of how the council has voted on an issue.
no, I don't have a problem with them being aware of it, but when you say they know more than they refuse to listen to the attorney, they refuse to listen to the League of Minnesotas. They knew more than the fire chief no one asked you. That's when I thought it was inappropriate. It's one thing to say, unfortunately, the city council voted 3-1 to go with elections. I voted no, and this is my reasons why.
Any of those statements that I just made, are they untrue? Did some council decide to not go with the attorney's advice on elections versus appointments? Council decide not to do the League of Minnesota Cities advice on elections versus appointments. You have heard what I've said about doing the appointments by having the firefighters engaged in the selection process. You decided not to do that. None of those statements were untrue. You just didn't like them.
No, I just thought I was going after the
Well,
council.
now we're getting
Anyways.
to personalities.
I understand.
We can just move on.
Everybody understands here that you guys have a different opinion in the way things happened and whatever happened. There it is. I would hope that you two can work it out, discuss it with one another, do what you need to do at that point in time there. But I don't know that it would be wise that the council dives into that realm at all. You've said your piece, we hear you, both of you, and I'm gonna ask that we can move on. Right?
No, it's fine.
Fine with that.
We know where we're at, whatever, we wanna move on, okay. All righty, is there announcements? The park committee meeting is Thursday, May 21st, 2026 at 7
Mr.
p.m.
Mayor, that was canceled due to, there's really no agenda items.
Okay.
It's going to be, it's rescheduled to
Let me start
June.
out again. There
Yeah.
will not be
Yes.
a park committee meeting on May 21st, 2026 at 7 p.m. City Hall will be closed Monday, May 25th in observation of Memorial Day. Planning Commission meeting Wednesday, May 27th, 2026 at 7 p.m. And the next city council meeting will be Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. Is there any other business? Other than that, that will conclude the business of the evening, other than a motion to approve bills for payment. 9 o'clock. Took 45 minutes longer than we expected.
Where was it? I was hungry.
You may.
You miss coming to these?
Huh?
You miss coming to them, or?
No, I just thought I'd bring up a couple things, not. But last year had me around to Blue Lake Cemetery. But anyway, at Blue Lake, we watched somebody. I thought he missed it something, but the cement is. Yep.
Blue Lake isn't,
Yeah, Blue Lake's not
that's in
ours.
Isani County.
Or no, what is it then?
Sandy, you're probably talking
It
about.
would probably be Spencer Brook maybe over there.
No, we were in Baldwin. By Lester's house.
Sandy Lake.
Okay. Well, anyway, I thought
You get the
it. And
pass.
then out in the cemetery. Dirt pile is huge and kind of an eyesore. All of that dirt.
Zach, is there a reason why there's so much dirt left over there?
But I have to say.
Wow.
There you go. That's a pretty good, $100 answer.
Is it black dirt?
It's sand, it's evolving.
Oh, okay, just want to make sure.
There's some black dirt out there.
Oh, no, I can throw them that far. Cake.
Bribe? That's all right.
Is that what it takes? I didn't buy popcorn, so I have to wait. You'll mail it.
Risk it in the mail, huh?
Maybe Mike gets it first. I don't know.
There's one.
I wonder if he's still.
Joan, you can throw that one.
Called me from his vacation. Mike Corey. He called me from his vacation in Greece, and he sounded like he was ready to keel over. Yeah.
Because he was sick?
He
or
said the
because-
whole family got it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Luckily, his oldest daughter, who was there with him, is a new medical doctor. She's in her residency. First week of vacation in 6 months, working horrendous hours. She was sick. And luckily, she brought a whole suitcase full of medicine, so.
Random stuff.
Random stuff. I was kind of hoping something in triplicate, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sick, you know.
And my wife, she's on she's got thyroid trouble, whatever. So thought she had it with, anyway, didn't. Levothyrox and whatever. In Mexico, and went into a quote drugstore in Mexico. You could get anything you wanted there. Holy moly.
You have money, we'll give it to you. Caramel corn, not just plain, you know.
I wouldn't give it to him yet. We haven't approved
Cheese
it yet.
and caramel
That's
corn.
not legal yet. Somebody hold that one out.
I won't even tell Mike about it.
Yeah, I would.
So I'm gonna put this back here.
We have a contest to see who can identify the most relatives in this cemetery. Al? You wanna go $20?
Do they have to be my relatives?
My relatives or,
Yeah, you're,
I don't think I have any relatives in
I don't
this.
have any on there.
I know a lot of people in there.
You know, I wasn't sure who I was talking
That's
to.
not a good thing, Al.
Somebody said in the
Well, no,
cemetery
yeah.
that some of the
Right.
people that were
Last year
buried
was bad. I had
not in
37
the actual
funerals last
lots,
year.
they were at angles and stuff. And that is something
That one I
that
went
we
to.
do need to identify or, you know, have a
I avoid
knowledge of.
funerals.
And she was mentioning that she went on a tour with Lester.
Been to too many.
He's getting older, and he's the one who knew where all the,
Yeah.
I guess, the bodies were buried. We do need to kind of have some
Ever-
sort of, even though. it may
Ever go to
not
one
show
where you
cemetery,
burying another firefighter, that's,
Marlene was
I don't
saying
need to
that
see
Zach
anymore.
gave her a poker to check the ground. So.
And that's what Lester does as well, or did.
Good.
Down and try and find. Probe, yep. Thank God we have a Marlene. Otherwise, I don't know what we would do with these. That it already?
light one.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, not dollar wise.
Dollar wise, no. I was
Volume.
an 80K rating, gentlemen. Need a motion to approve bills for payment.
Check number 29494 to 29520 for $50,227.54. 4 EFT payments for $4,646.42 for a total of $54,873.96.
Approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Would you take a friendly to, we'll pull back check number 29505?
That one there? No, he
I
won't.
rescind that.
Is there a second then?
No, I'm never a part of a motion to approve the bills, you know that.
I second it.
Oh, you did? Oh, thank you. All right, motion and a second. I apologize for missing it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed, the same sign.
Motion adjourned.
There, got a second? Is there any further discussion?
Good way to get on the record.
Prove to your wife you were here.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 9:07.
So, they're not worried about it, they're not after engineering. Yep, so.